In another video, I've been showing you how to write platform code in .NET MAUI, but there I did it with partial classes, partial methods, maybe not something everyone likes. So in this video, I will use dependency injection to do the exact same thing. Let's go check it out. So here we are in Visual Studio 2022. I just created a file, new .NET MAUI application. You can see it here, the XAML of the main page. This is the template that you will get out of the box. Now in this video, I'm going to actually show you something that I already showed in another video, which should pop up on your screen right now, or you can find it down in the video description below. But that used partial classes and partial methods, which might not be something that everyone likes to use. So in this video, I'm going to take a different approach to achieve the same goal. This is going to use dependency injection. So let's just see how we can do that, how we can leverage dependency injection to write platform specific code. Now, I have a more extensive explanation about this in the other video, so go check that out. But let me give you a short recap of what's going on with the multi-targeting, because that's what we're talking about here, the multi-targeting in .NET MAUI. So everything inside of this project will get compiled regardless of what platform you're targeting. So because of the single project approach in .NET MAUI now, everything will be compiled from this one project. You can target iOS and all the iOS bits will get sorted out and only be compiled. You can target Android, same story, but now with little different pieces that will be taken out of the code for you. How that works in everything outside of your platforms folder basically will get compiled regardless of what platform you're targeting. Now inside of the platforms folder you will see Android, iOS, Mac Catalyst, and if you put it in the Android folder, that code will only be compiled whenever you target Android, and whenever you target iOS is the same thing. So that's kind of how that works, and whenever you know how that works and you kind of like have some experience with that, you can do some fun stuff with that. For instance, with partial classes and methods, or do it through dependency injection. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. Now, dependency injection mostly works with interfaces. Of course, you don't have to use that, but I'm going to do it anyway. So let's go over here, click, right-click my project, add new item, and I'm going to find the interface template right here, and I'm going to name this device orientation service. So now it's a interface, and this will follow the exact same code that I've used in the other example. So if you've watched that one, it's easy to follow along and see the differences here without having to focus on new code. Now I'm going to make this public. I'm sure it not really matters, but just to do that anyway. And this is going to be the method signature that we are going to use for this functionality. So this is going to be device orientation. And whoops, I don't have it yet, so it's not going to know it. And here, this is going to be get orientation. Now let me paste here from off screen the enum that we want to return. So that's just going to be undefined landscape or portrait, right? So that's how our device is oriented right now. That's all that we need to do in our shared code, basically, because this is just the interface, right? So we are going to register the actual implementation from the actual platform code. So let's go over to our platforms folder now right here. And in our Android folder, we are just going to add a new item, or actually it could be a class. So the class is right here on top. And we're going to name this device orientation service again. And this will implement our interface. So also let's make this public. There we are. And here we are going to say device orientation service. And this is going to say, hey, this is not implemented, so let IntelliSense fix that for us, implement interface. Here we are, and it's going to throw a new not implement exception. So let's fix that. And again, I'm going to copy some code here from off screen so that we have the Android code to actually get the orientation for our device. All kinds of red squigglies. I'm going to get rid of those by right-clicking and doing the IntelliSense thing here. Now, this is a funny one. This Android.app gives me some error because it has the Android namespace also right here. And there is a funny way to actually fix this. So let's actually just remove this Android bit from right here, because what it usually does, it follows here the platforms, the folder structure. So whenever we create a class in iOS, it will be MAUI platform code sample.platforms.ios, and for all the other things the same. But we can do a little trick with that. So let's remove the Android from here. That will fix this little issue right here. That's a a big plus as well. And that will give us some other advantage that we will see in a little bit. So let me continue by fixing the other code errors here, which is not really relevant to this video. So let me just quickly get that out of the way. And now we have this implementation of our interface. So what we need to do now is register this in our dependency injection container, and then it will all get resolved and all work. Now, let's just actually do that right now. So let's go over to our MAUI program, and I got a video on dependency injection as well. In fact, I got a whole playlist, so it should pop up on your screen, or go find it down in the video description below. I'm not gonna go into detail about what all the things here I'm going to do, so definitely check out the other videos if you're not clear about any of that. So here in our builder, we're going to do services.add, and actually let's do add transient. You should get the right scope here, but I'm just going to do the transient one. And we're going to say device orientation service, and with the implementation of device orientation service. Now you can see it will come up with this one in the MAUI platform code sample platforms. So if we have it for different platforms, it will automatically figure out the right one. So we don't have to do all kinds of things with the if directives here. So we don't need to do the if Android or that kind of stuff for like the Android namespace that we need to import here. You can just use the exact same names and the exact same namespace, and it will only compile the one that you have in your Android folder or your iOS folder. So that is really a little advantage here. It also makes it kind of like less transparent what platform thing it's using right now. But you know, it reads a little bit nicer for your code, I guess. Because if we switch now here to the upper left corner, you can switch between the targets that you have in this project, and we go to iOS, it will tell you that this class is not found, right? Because we didn't implement the device orientation service yet. So actually, let's just do that right now. Go over to our iOS folder right here, right click add class, and we can say device orientation service. Now we're going to implement this for iOS, and what we need to remember then is just remove this little iOS bit from here, and then all the rest can be again public. We need to make this the same as all the other ones. Device orientation service, thank you IntelliJ thing in Visual Studio, implement interface, and again I got some code here ready to go for iOS as well. So let me just paste that in here from off screen, add the right usings from here, UI kit, and that code should be ready to go as well. So you can see this is the platform specific code. We're using iOS specific namespaces right here. So that is, we're in iOS land right now. And if I switch back to my MAUI program, you can see that it now knows about this class without having to do anything. And you can see if you hover over it, you can see that it's available now for Android, it's available for iOS, and not yet for Mac Catalyst or Windows. So whenever you switch over to those targets, then it will start complaining. It will not build, so that will, you know, not cause any runtime issues. It will just stop you in your tracks whenever you're building, which is a good thing. I like that, to be notified at that moment. And if you're only supporting iOS and Android anyway, you don't really need to care about that. So that is what is really cool. So let's switch back to Android, and you don't have to make any code changes. It will just still work because the Android bits will only be compiled for Android and the iOS bits will only be compiled for iOS. So, you know, it won't get in each other's way. It won't complain about the names being the same because as far as they are concerned, they don't exist in each other's world. So that's kind of like how you can use the whole multi-targeting single project thing to your advantage. Now, I should be able to not run this application because it's not going to do anything because I'm not consuming this device orientation service yet. So let's just fix that right away. Because it's now dependency injection, we can just let that inject into our constructor or whatever we want where we need it, right? So let's go over to our main page.xaml.cs, and I'm going to here say my device orientation sensor service, not sensor. And I'm going to just name this service. Let's go to my main page.xaml and make sure that we can access this label right here. This is going to be our orientation label. And we're going to set the text to the orientation of this thing. So let's just do orientation label. It doesn't pick up on that change yet, but I'm not going to let that stop me. Is service.get orientation. So, and we need to probably do this to string because the other thing is an enum. So now we are getting the toString value in our orientation label. Now I think the app is about to come up and it's not really going to show us the thing that I've been implementing because I've been typing while this was building here. So I'm just gonna close that. See, nothing really changed here. So let me fix that. We're working on it. Orientation label.text is service.getOrientation. Now for this dependency injection to work, we also need to resolve the main page through our dependency injection container. So let's go back to our MAUI program, and we're also going to add to our builder.services.add transient. Let's just add our main page. We can just do that like this. And then we can let that main page inject into our app, because the app is used right here, use MAUI app, so that will know about our dependency container. And here we can just say main page, we can say page right here, and from that moment on everything will be resolved and work nicely. So if I run the app again now, it will go to our MAUI program, it will register our device orientation service, and depending on the target that we're running, it will automatically pick the right service for the right platform. It will add the main page to our dependency injection container as well. We say here use MAUI app, so it can resolve that app through that. It will know I have this main page in the dependency injection container. It will inject that through here. We set that to the main page, and in our main page.xaml.cs we have this device orientation service, which is also registered, and it will know how to resolve the one for Android. And then if we look at this application, it will say portrait, and I have no clue if that is actually correct, but at least we get some through this platform specific code, and that is how you do the platform code in .NET MAUI through dependency injection. Now, if you've watched the partial classes and partial methods one, and now this one, you can see by the length of this video, this is a little bit, more work, maybe a little bit more explanation, but it also is a little bit cleaner. It is using the dependency injection. It will inject all the things nicely. You can easily swap out the implementations if needed. There is no kind of opaque partial methods and classes things going on. So I can totally see why certain people would find this more cleaner and a better way to use in your code. Let me know down in the comments below, what is your method that you prefer? Is it the dependency injection or is it the partial classes? Maybe you have come up with some other way that I didn't even think about. That is really cool as well. Or maybe if you have any other questions, please let me know, of course, as well. Please click that like button while you're down there in the comments as well, so this video will get the attention it deserves. Please click that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, so you will be supporting my channel and see that subscriber number going up. We can build this great community, and of course, the content will come to you instead of you having to come to me. Other than that, I'll be seeing you for my next video, and be sure to check out this video right here. That is all about the dependency injection that I've been explaining here, but has a little bit more extensive explanation so you can understand what that's all about as well. I'll be seeing you for my next video. Keep coding.